promise you, I don't think anything has come close to entertaining me this year as much as X-Men 97. Ever since the announcement, I have been anticipating nothing but greatness. Why, you ask? Because I'm one of the unks that grew up with the series.
Donnell, that's you.
And not just the animated series, but I have been raised as an X-Men fan. Ever since I was young, my dad was actually a big Marvel fan with a number of comics such as the original Avengers and Iron Man. And so to get me into comic books, the easiest way to do it was through television. I remember every morning on a Saturday, I believe me, my sister, and dad, occasionally my mother, would tune into each episode of the 90s animated series, bro. I was so into it that I couldn't wait for the next episode to drop. My favorite characters were obviously Wolverine, but like right beside him was Gambit, Storm, Rogue, and especially Nightcrawler. As a young kid, he was a very big inspiration to me in staying strong with my faith as a Christian despite the world getting you down. But other than that, I delved deeper and decided to pick up the comic books, to which I only carried the Ultimate X-Men volumes. Either way, I'm a huge X-Men fan, so of course I want to talk about it. Now just keep in mind, I've already finished the series, but I wanted to give my thoughts on everything once it's all said and done. To keep things interesting, I wanted to go episode by episode as well as give my thoughts on certain aspects of the series like relationships and powers that will most likely come after the fact. So let's get into episode 1 of X-Men 97. To start off, I didn't think that they could make this theme more entertaining than it already was, but brother, when they subtly mixed the MCU intro with the X-Men one, it gets me so hyped, it ain't even funny! And it seems to have a bit of a different tone than its predecessor. When it comes to the visuals, everything is relatively the same, I would say, except that it isn't. You see, obviously they're doing what they did in the previous intro, but with a little more pizzazz, you know what I'm saying? The main example being Cyclops with the animation of his optic blast. Yo, they be looking so clean for no good reason. I am personally not a fan of Jean being second, as I liked the way that she did her outro. Like, everything was on beat, but it's cool nonetheless. They really nerfed Wolverine's though. Like, I can't even hear his damn claws slicing the screen. Like, it sounded like scissors cutting a curtain. I feel like Morphs could have been more interesting and show off his abilities, but he's just dodging bullets, which is like cool. But like, I would love if he did something like where he swings in as like if he swings in as Spider-Man and then like does a flip and then lands as Hulk, like shattering around, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would be awesome. Everyone else I believe stays the same, but we do get Bishop into the mix as an official member to the crew, which I absolutely love. Bishop is one of the most underrated X-Men characters, and I actually love playing as him in X-Men Next Dimension. Like, bro, his moveset was kind of crack, but the rest of the intro, they really cooked with showing so much action and powers. It was absolutely beautiful and got me hyped to start the show. Now, to start off the show, we get the mutants version of the Ku Klux Klan, to which they brought this kid Roberto to their hideout, which, mind you, I didn't hear everything that had to do with the show before it aired, but I instantly said, that's Sunspot. When I saw his hair and jacket, I don't know why, but I called it. And I'll tell you what, they do a really good job at making me hate these people, because Roberto didn't even use his powers to defend or attack them. They just thought that he was a mutant and slapped a collar on him with plans to end his life. And obviously, they gotta be working with Trask or Gyrick, because ain't nobody giving tech to these regular ass people unless they're crazy, smart, and prejudiced. That's when my screen officially became blessed the moment I heard lightning. I then jumped out of my seat and started screaming, because I know the Queen of Elements was coming to the rescue. And I absolutely love that they kept her original voice actress and have her announcing herself, as well as the nature she takes control of. Yo! And honestly, when Bishop came down as well, I was kind of confused. I genuinely asked myself, like, what happened at the end of the original series to have him still here? But anyways, they knew giving the blacks too much screen time would start those woke propaganda channels talking they talk, saying like, oh, too much of this. Like, all right, calm down, bro. And then we had my biggest surprise arriving, Scott Summers, aka Cyclops. Now, I think many X-Men fans or comic book watcher readers can agree, for most of his existence, Cyclops has been painted in the light of the boring Boy Scout character of the series. And from what I had seen, I had the same viewpoint of him, but when he made his entrance, I'ma be real, all it took was him standing there to make me go, oh, so this what we doing now? And his response of, definitely one of the good guys, I'm like, this man got a personality. Where'd this come from? And to add on to his new swagger, this man showed me that optic blasts aren't just like used for destruction and blasting rocks. I think I had personally had a misconception of his abilities in the first place, where I had always seen his powers as like heat vision, but apparently it's more like concussive blasts of kinetic energy. So of course, if he takes his visor off, it's gonna blast his skin away, but with it on, he can obviously take control of how much is dispersed from the visor. And it was perfectly shown in this fight scene where he first used it to distance himself and Roberto, proceeding to blast the Nazis away one by one while maneuvering himself around with his eyes. I was like, what? Plus, I didn't know he had hands like that. Cyclops was really like that. And he gets even more personality when they restrain him and threaten to take his visor from him. Yet they're stupid enough to continue, and they end up like Squidward and Mr. Krabs when they try to eat that bomb pie. After the battle, we get to see my favorite couple in comics, period. Watching the original, I don't remember ever seeing these two separated from one another for more than 2 episodes. Even in the comics, I would see Rogue defect from the X-Men in order to go run away with Remy. I think they eventually come back, but seeing that gave me what I believe to be the embodiment of loyalty. So they chilling, they cooking in the kitchen, and Cyclops obviously berates them for not coming on the mission. Blah, 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 but it's more so because they weren't following the ideals of the professor. And speak of the devil, there he is right there. Moment I saw bro walking in, the way he talked, the way he acted, I was immediately like, shut up, Morph. They are such a troll, bro. I know Cyclops cried later. Also, why the hell did Gambit think this was funny? That kitchen would have been blasted. Thank you, Jean, who is now pregnant. Jean. But it's nice to see them finally have such an organic and natural relationship together. Something that didn't feel natural back in the 90s. It could be due to the animation and performance, but still, seeing them now, I'm like, wow, that's love. Jean. So going back to Roberto being a snobby brat, he's greeted by one of my favorite X-Men and my favorite iteration of the character, Beast. All the Beasts I've seen in comics are pretty depressing if I'm being real. At least the ones that I've read have him being very ashamed of his mutation, or straight up just looking like someone's dog while pondering the powerhouse of the cell. In the animated series, you can see how much he takes pride in what he is and can even laugh among his peers about his appearance. Also, his Shakespearean voice is just prime Beast to me. The way it's so high and eloquent is amazing. Then we have Jubilee. This girl used to be like my top 5 childhood crushes for me. I'm being real. Her style and attitude are just so attractive, and she ain't skip a beat. I like how the dynamic between her and Roberto is almost like her looking into a mirror. It's almost exactly how she was first joining the X-Men, except obviously she wasn't rich like him and could go write a check for her freedom. Continuing the introduction of our X-Men, we next go to see Wolverine after Roberto has successfully ruined a Danger Room exercise. Bro really thought this was sweet. Something I'm loving, however, with the series, and it's almost contradictory to what I would normally say, considering he's my favorite character, is the fact that it's refreshing to see Logan take a backseat in the series. I think you see him like a total of like 15 seconds before we get to basketball. Meanwhile, everyone else had a proper introductory scene. It makes sense though, because with his popularity throughout the past TV shows, movies, and even comics, you would never have the same love for each character and the show in general after you finish. The moment I saw this woman, I did not trust her. Friend of Charles, works for the government, getting cardio in on FaceTime, something just doesn't seem right. However, of course, my trust issues are kind of jumping the gun. She does do all she can for Mutant Kite on her side, pushing the boundaries and buttons of everyone in the government, because the government really hates mutants in this. It's actually insane how bad it is. But y'all be holding parades for Spider-Man? Like, what? After the call, Scott and Jean share a moment in the professor's study, reminiscing on old times before bringing up the option of finally leaving the team to pursue a normal life together. And I'm not gonna lie, if this was the old series, like Evolution or one of the comics, I would have been like, what'd that mean to me? Like, leave. But after that first mission and seeing the team's interactions, I can't help but feel like they would be so lost without them. Specifically Scott in this case, immediately in my head, I'm like, okay, Storm could probably hold it down. But it seems as if she's taking like a backseat position as more of a secret weapon when needed. I definitely see her as more of a second in command, but I just don't know in that case. Wolverine, absolutely not. You are not Steam Bloom this round. Beast is definitely more of a support member of the team, needed for like technological issues, and the rest of them kind of do their own thing. Now then, back to reality. They break Charles' portrait of the OGs before discussing the problem of Roberto running away to the club. I will say though, Scott really showing how much of a leader he is by putting them in their place. Because the fact of the matter is that he's right in the fact that they can't let Roberto go solo, especially after almost dying on the hands of the anti-mutant club. The other side of it being that nobody did a damn thing to stop him or a damn thing to grow as a team. They're just going with the flow, and it's not what X-Men are supposed to do. Obviously, the only one standing up to him is Logan, who really needs to chill out. I was dying laughing the moment Jean spoke to him. He had puppy dog eyes at the ready before storming away. Now, the club scene. First of all, why the hell are they still in their uniforms? Some of them, at least. You know, like, you got Rogue and Logan. They got the right attire. And Jubilee gets a pass. Nobody really gonna care about that. But, like, is nobody gonna say anything about Morph literally repping the set in the club? Like, I just don't get it. And Gambit, well, Gambit looked fly, so he get a pass too. Was they really getting down like this back in the day? Like, and at this age too? I ain't really go out that much, so I got no clue. But when I do go out, all I see are the guys on the wall scoping out their prey and girls twerking every 5 seconds. Bring me back to this, please. Of course, Morph and Logan are alone. Come on now, you know, you already know what's going on between them. I know Morph was plotting to get a dance, but obviously bro's a little heartbroken. Honestly, I don't understand how badly a young redheaded white girl has a chokehold over you. Like, what happened to cause this? I know they have a deeper emotional connection, but damn! Morph really using his powers out here to tease him too. That's crazy. And nobody saw this? And nobody saw this? Okay. Then you got Rogue and Gambit. You knew how this would turn out. If I was down there and somebody was rubbing against me. Yeah, we get it, Rogue. Cry about it some more. I feel like Remy's whole existence in this is to play the role of Rogue's like friend zone lover, like someone who you'll flirt with but always complain to about love problems. I know I'm capping, but I gotta take my anger out on something. Now the adults are finally talking as Scott, Bishop, and Aurora go to interrogate Gyrick, like about possibly working with the anti-mutant club. This man is a freak show, real talk. Like, I don't get how you can be so fascinated but resentful to so many people. Aurora looking good in that suit. I'm just Queen! And now Jean takes the next step, invading Henry's mind with Cerebro. And honestly, after watching the whole series, like, this is absolutely amazing. I believe it was Bastion in his mind as well, as we saw him drawing as a kid the destruction of the X-Mansion. But when you see the epic foreshadowing of Jean holding Jean in her arms as Nathan runs up to her in the form of like dust, apologizing, saying, not again, yo, that was awesome. And then officially the giant sentinel blasting away Jean and her son is showing so many tombstones, obviously representing Genosha. Like, the fact that bro, think about it. Go back and watch! And now it's finally time to see the team in action. After some minor spats, they're attacked in the X-Jet by their common enemy, the Sentinels. As they eject into the air, Flyers catch the Fallers with a praise from Cyclops. Morph just keeps going to Logan. Like, they are attached at the hip, bro. But with Cyclops being the only one left alone, he does something so amazing and so un-Cyclops-like, from what I've seen at least, that leaves me with my jaw on the floor. He releases such a strong optic blast that it essentially cushions his fall as if he's floating down from the heavens. And then he got the nerve to even be more badass as the dust clears by saying,
to me, my X-Men.
Where has this Scott Summers been all my life? And why is Rogue so damn fine? Now they're confronting Boulevard Trash, scared little behind, standing up there with a giant sentinel. Like, why do you hate them so much, bro? He said they animals that gotta get put down, bro. Like, oh no, Rogue with the WWE moves. She's so damn strong and so hot. Now, how the hell did Logan even get up there, bro? Like, Beast can lift a whole damn sentinel on his own. Bro, this is too good. Gambit was cool, but Bishop's display of power is beautiful. Like, the blast to the back and then just it's so awesome. Then all of that, bro, all of that is completely overshadowed by these few words.
Give him the forecast.
Omega level threat detected, bro. Yo, that's what I'm talking about, bro. Like, put some respect on her name. Who y'all think you messing with? I need to breathe. This Sentinel's standing up like he about to do something. Sit your ass back down, bro. This scene was one of the teasers from the show as Wolverine runs and Gambit jumps right on his shoulders. I know we all know this, but Wolverine really is a whole unit, running with a grown man on his shoulders, and then even speeding up, and the belly up with more. I automatically knew Blob was coming, bro. I automatically knew. Bro, I loved using him in X-Men Next Dimension. He was a cheat character. He really was, but like, yo, I pick my teeth with your bone. As they finish, Trask has the nerve to basically say mutants are too awesome that they're leaving humanity in the dust. Like, that's like Larry Bird watching Steph Curry shoot a 3. And yeah, okay, yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't really care about this part, but like, it's cool we get to see Sunspot like use his abilities for once, albeit only for a few seconds. But now it's time to play ball, as they say. Storm saying choosing teams is up to the leader, which really made me think, like, before the whole speech he gave, I know for a fact Cyclops was looking, you can't see it through the visor, but like, Cyclops was glaring at Bishop. He said, I want him, bro. Like, I kind of need Bishop on my team if I'm gonna win this shit. Yo, we finally got a black man on the team. Like, I need that. Pause. What? Wait a second. Like, if it was me, I probably would have went Morph, because like, bro, like, he can turn to Michael Jordan at will. He can turn into anyone. Pat Ewing, Chuck Barkley, like, yo, anyone you want. Next would probably be Beast, and I promise I'm not being sexist, but I'm picking all the athletic niggas first, because like Storm's next, then Rogue, Wolverine, and then Jubilee. Like, am I being like heightist? Like, is there like sizes? I don't know, because like all the short people went last. But anyways, to end the episode, they got a threat detection on their system to reveal the one and only big bad of X-Men, period. Magneto. Bro, honestly, I wasn't expecting this, especially just a Magneto introduction this early. But the craziest thing is, when they reveal why he's here in the first place, like Charles left the X-Mansion and the X-Men to him in his will. For a smart man, this guy is really infuriating. You have Scott, you have Jean, you have Storm, but you leave the X-Men to the one person who is the most against your dream. Yeah, okay, X. And mind you, bro, it ain't even like they had a conversation before his death. Like, he was really just like, you know what? I think it'll all work out in the end. He's bound to change, right? Come on. Give him a chance. Only one way to find out. And that, y'all, is the first episode of X-Men 97 Through My Eyes. What did y'all think about it, and what were your personal thoughts on the series? I will definitely make another one for episode 2, because talking about manhwas is fun, but I couldn't stop talking about this one. Hope y'all liked the video, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Love y'all. Take it easy.